Hey folks, Species7 here, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Farm Sim 17, and I am here on the Watts farm, with Seasons mod enabled, of course, and just parking up a bit of gear as I wait for midnight. I thought it would be interesting to see what sort of expenses we're going to have. As you can see, we've still got a little bit of an extra cash flow going on, but I will clear that up fairly quickly here. I like it, this tractor's so short, basically as soon as you step off it, you can reach where you disconnect. So, yeah, that's the only reason I'm allowing this to run in the dark for another couple of minutes, and then I believe we will actually get the option to advance it till morning. I thought we actually got it before now. But let's see here. Are they not going to post maintenance costs? Ah, there we go. 134 and 66. Man, that's not too shabby. All right, now I think it's actually Alt N. Nope. L. All right. Yikes. Okay. I thought a thing popped up and told you. Nope. Oh, that's not fair. Oh, come on, I really don't want to do this in the dark. Well, I have, I have finished, plowing the fields. So that part of things is done. Whoa. You can't even see the hitch, it's so far down there. I guess you're kind of suspended right over the back end of this tractor while you're driving it. So, yes, there's our giant rake. There we are. Like I said, you just happen to step off the tractor right in the right place, which is kind of nice. So, thanks to all of you for letting me know that I kind of bollocks the heck out of our other map there, Old Ridge, not taking into account, of course, that, you know, maybe once the snow melts, it takes a day or two before the grass grows. At least enough to start hacking it down. So yeah, not my finest moment, but again, thanks to all of you for letting me know what was going on. So I thought of a few, you know, less than clever ways we could deal with that, but I think I'm going to try and be a little more creative, even if it only means saving what I have not yet sown, because I don't believe I finished mucking that one field up by sowing unnecessary grass in it, so we'll have to hope. Now, I could park those things up a little neater, and I would have actually had room for this. For now, just to get it out of the... Okay. So, I would think that at 13 after, we're close enough that we can accelerate time to a decent rate and find our way to morning. After all, I don't really want to run the episode in the dark. I mean, I'll look up what the, I've done a bunch of key changes, so I'll look up and see what the actual key combo is, because I know you can skip night with the Seasons mod. And it may well be that once they show you the hint thing, that it doesn't come up every single time. They expect you to remember that it's... And I thought for some reason it was like Alt-N, but I must be wrong with that. So this afternoon, I'm going to go and cod jigging. A friend of mine's got her boat all ready, and we went down and upped our licenses yesterday. So I'm going to go out and see what the bottom feeders have to offer up. I know that doesn't sound delightful, but believe me, there's Nothing like a nice fresh piece of cod, or possibly, should we be so lucky, perhaps even a haddock. Or, should our luck stretch even further, maybe even a hui halibut. The only issue with that is sometimes when you get into the range where you're finding some good ling down in the bottom of some shelf somewhere, if there are halibut hanging around there, they may not be something you particularly want to haul up on a hand line, because I do the old school East Coast method. I have a block which I have built, which you have the line and the jig on, and it's all done by hand. There's no rod, there's none of that. You just wind the line on the block and go from there. So, problem with hooking into a halibut is if the darn thing weighs 80 or 100 pounds, you know, we're in a, I think it's a 12-foot or 14-foot aluminum boat. So yeah, something that weighs 100, 120 pounds can basically pull the boat right over on its side if you're trying to haul it up. So okay, you've chosen the wrong way to go. Just admit it, swallow your mistake, and get on with it. Turn your headlight on, then maybe you wouldn't drive in the wrong driveway. It's just taking a while for the old sun to come up, but it looks like we're going to have a sunny day. That's a beautiful thing. It's currently -3. Of course, 6 o'clock in the morning, early spring, you kind of expect that, I guess. Alright, now this is the plow, so we don't want to put it way the heck over there. It goes in here. Whoa, slow your roll there, buddy. See this tractor, you don't quite as far to the back. You get to actually come over here and fiddle with the hitches. There we go. Ooh, I just noticed that before. Cool, it's even got the fan rotating. Comfort King. Well, I suppose if you look at the saddle on the John Deere and you look at the saddle on this thing, you can see why they went, oh yeah, Comfort King. Alright, let's slow time down to a normal rate before we waste the entire day. My goodness. There we go. Now, next stage. I guess we can turn our lights off. There we go. Lovely. We need to do some cultivating. That'll be day 2's project. So, and no, I'm not going to go plant a bunch of grass. But species, why? Let's take the farmall. Yes, indeed. Oh, this is McCormick Deering. But is it not also? Okay. Yeah, Farmall 300. McCormick Deering Farmall 300. Cool. Well, there you are. Every time I play this game, I learn something different. Well, that might be overstating it. Every time I play this game, I find something different. Learning and just, you know, noticing something can sometimes be a completely different process in this burnt out old part of the brain. Oh. What a beautiful Bavarian plowworks cultivator. Have you seen this cultivator? It's a beautiful cultivator. Come on, clickety click. Oh, really? Oh. La 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 la. Dee, 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 dee. Nothing to see here, folks. Yeah, it helps when you're going to go pick up a piece of kit that needs a 3-point. You actually have a 3-point on your tractor. This guy's actually pulling the harvesters and such around. So we'll park her back in here for the moment. And oopsie. Okay. I'm pretty sure me dear old Doots has got what we're looking for. And she does. Lovely. In you get. Oh, this is the Famulus, actually. I'm sorry. My apologies to Dutes everywhere. Very neat tractor. This is also our lawnmower. So, well, I guess we just call them a mower, eh? This is the farm. And as farm mower seemed redundant. Boy, I hope my aim's better with fishing. Alright. Oh, and I'm going to, just because it's what I do, I am going to videography a lot of the actual fishing. Well, a lot of, should we actually hook anything? Let's put it that way. Well, there you are. See, now that's how it's done. And, okay. That's brilliant, brilliant. Okay. Took us a moment to get going, but hey. What a beautiful second day of spring. I'm pretty sure the last time we were here, the second day, it rained for 2 days. Okay, well, the second day it started the raining of 2 days. Let's get that out there. Actually, I think we'll start on the high side. Just to get the hard parts done first. There we go. Beautiful. And let's keep her right on the edge. I should get all of it. So we're going to go to a little spot called Oakover Arm. That's where we're going to be doing our fishing this afternoon. So this is the first time we've been out fishing together. It's been an interesting project so far. And I'm quite looking forward to it. And we have been lucky enough to pick a day that is going to be absolutely brilliant. I was up at about, I don't know, 20 to 6 this morning is when I got up, and it was already a beautiful blue sky, and has gotten only better since, so happy to see. In fact, it's a day, nope, there's more clouds up here than there is outside. Brilliant. Of course, it also means if this keeps up for a few more days, I'm going to be stuck painting. Got a lot that we started last year that needs to be caught up. We're also going to be likely repainting all of the parking lines in our parking lot. So we did that about 4 or 5 years ago, but surprisingly enough, it wears off pretty quick even when you do use the proper paints and such. Although I suppose if you think about the fact that living this close to the ocean, we sort of have, you know, well, salt being a caustic and having large amounts of it suspended in the moisture in the air. Although we never have stuffy noses in this part of the world, we do find that things like metal and wood, etc. deteriorate rather quickly. And it's nothing like a nice saltwater bath every time it rains. Oh, this is doing a brilliant job. If only I'd get all of it. Oh well. I guess that's the wonderful thing about doing this old school. You can't rely on the equipment to make up for your mistakes. You've actually got to do a good job. And that means I have to pretty much have this guy right on that edge, because that's what size kit we're dealing with. So let's try this. Let's keep our tire right up there against the edge. There's some nasty little divots here too, eh? So, although field 1, whoa, let me tell you, the one corner on there, yeah, they had years and years ago a really, really large chunk of that granite face that's up there above it, right up there. That's field 1 over there. You see where it's all sheared flat? Yeah, an actual chunk of that came down and went crashing across the field. It left a big dent in the one corner and a big mound just past that. And, well, because there's still a huge chunk of stone under there, a couple of feet down, rather than try and have it extracted, we just simply put up with that corner of the field being a wee bit messed up. Because, well, shy at dynamiting the darn thing, it weighs a little more than any of the kit in town is capable of moving. Yeah, it's a much better job. So we got a feel for how big this cultivator is after our first pass was a little bit narrow. Alrighty. We just basically want to run wheel line to wheel line on this puppy. Ignore the rear wheels and run the fronts. A fine piece of plow or cultivator, and I'm really liking the way that this because if you guys have been following me for any length of time, you'd realize this is kind of the first time I've done this where I'm actually running an entire series at 5x on the time scale. Normally I go everything real time, even though I do small farms, etc. But well, I was also finding that although that generally works, when you've got something like we've got here, and yes, I just pointed at the HUD, where you're kind of being told on a day-by-day basis just how many day-by-days you've actually gone through. And like I said, it seems, you know, a little odd that you would, you know, day 1 by noon you'd have 9 fields plowed, cultivated, and planted. You know, like I said, I think this is a little more realistic. It's taking us all day to do each stage. So, I do like that considerably more. Alright. By guppies, I'm actually doing a reasonable job. Good thing I'm not trying to mow any lawns. Okay. I've also noticed, not the example I did on the map there where I tried the AI. I don't remember what I was doing the other day, but I cranked on the AI and watched them, and wow, have they ever come a long way if you compare to what you used to see, you know, on, say, Farm Sim 15, where they'd get to the end of the field and there might be a bit of an issue, you know, not enough headland or a tree, or... And we know exactly what they do. They would simply drive straight into the tree and then sit there and grind their wheels until you realized, oh, gee, they're not done yet, let's go see why. And I watched the maneuvers this one tractor that was completely AI powered was making, and I thought, well, it is incredibly obvious to start with that it is AI, because each move was so plotted and so methodical. It was almost freaky. Like you could swear it was a robotic tractor. But it also, unlike, again, 15 and some equipment still in 17, but it managed to get the end of each row perfect. You know, there was none of this coming in with some bizarre triangular, you know, angle that leaves something that you've got to go and re-drag equipment over at the end of each field. You know, it was really quite the thing to watch. I was, to say the least, impressed. Ah, good, that did take care of that. I wasn't sure if it would or not. This is rather an interesting old tractor, this Famulus. I mean, besides the the fact that it has that interesting side mount so that it gets that custom mower, sickle mower working on there. Besides that, it's just a neat old piece of kit. I'm not sure how John Deere feels about color combination. But hey, you know, I think you would pretty much have to be Bill and Melissa Gates to start doing things like copyrighting colors. Yeah. Although I imagine you can copyright the name of a color if you make it up. You know, like Goofy Grape or something like that for purple. That's probably a copyrighted name. Please don't take my monetary rights to the video away. But yeah, I don't think that any of the John Deere patents would have covered the particular green and yellow paint schemes. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Alright, so have you people been thrilled just to heck here by, oops, we don't actually want to press that, this amazing cultivating job? The only issue is there really isn't too much else I can move on to. It's one thing I have noticed with the Seasons mod, the little bit of experience I've had with it, and from watching my buddy Reefy's videos too, is it is a reasonably controlling mod. You know, it adds a little bit of strategy to the game, if we would rather put it in those terms. So, I guess now we've got a mixture of simulation and strategy. We'll just have to see how they manage to work a first-person shooter into the mix. Yeah, I don't even want to think about how, because I can only imagine. But we'll just go play Half-Life 2 or something if we want a first-person shooter. You know. Yeah. But it is really interesting that way, and I'm looking forward to moving on with this particular mod, seeing how it develops on both of the farms, the larger Old Ridge, and here in this little microcosm that we call Watts. And I don't know if I mentioned this the last time, although I know it is down in the description and was on the first video. If you want a copy of Watts Farm, the final version with the masks, etc., in case you want to run the Seasons mod, all of that stuff is in there. And in fact, it has been rechecked and re-uploaded with the, if you don't want to run the Seasons mod, it has the masks kind of disappear thing included as well. So completely optional, you can run it either way. And it is PCSG are the ones that are hosting it, and big thanks to them. Awesome site, by the way. You should go and check it out, not only for the Watts Farm map, but they are the PC simulation gaming forum. And as such, really good group of guys, some of whom you may recognize from the Farm Sims series. They have quite a few active and well-known modders who have decided to collect under their wing, including the fine folks who bring you the other map. Well, and this one as well. So there you go. Great group. I suggest you check it out and support them. Alrighty, let's, with that, carry on. Now I have, of course, a couple of these fields to do. We own 4 fields. I used some of our extra money to do what I did in the last start, and that's purchase field 1. So we've got 2, 14, 7, and 1. And 1 is about the size of this. 14 is a little smaller, so give you an idea of how long this is going to take. We've been about an hour of game time on here. And it'll be at least a couple. So yeah, we're looking at a 8 to 10 hour day again, at least, to get this done. So, there you go. Alright. Boy, I wish the rock mod was included. It'd be so perfect for this map. But I don't know that it was, for some reason, ever adapted for 17. And I don't know why. I can't see that it would have been anything popular. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So. I thought it added a brilliant touch to the gameplay. Alright. With that said, though, folks, I think that I should probably get this one boxed up and ready for uploading this evening onto the mighty YouTube. And I will... Oh, no, it is down. Just seemed to really... Oh, this is that one really steep bit, I think. Just seemed to, like, leap down the hill here. I'm like, oh no, I'm out of control already. Heck, I haven't rolled a tractor in at least an episode. And so far I haven't here. But I did on the other map, of course, right in the store parking lot. It's the MR mod, you know? It actually deals with the fact that you're driving a piece of top-heavy kit. And if you decide you don't need to slow down for a corner, it's more than happy to have physics come in there and teach you a stern lesson about such things. You know, it's funny too, if you look on YouTube on some of these car wreck sort of channels that they have, there's all kinds of instances where you see things like that. Tractors coming around the corners a little bit too quick because they're trying to get through intersections. Yeah, and flopping over, or the trailers flopping over, or some of them are quite funny. Because, I mean, most of it's happening at 10, 12 kilometers an hour, so you know people aren't getting hurt. They're just sort of, oops, boing, and down they go, kind of, you know, even less dramatic than what I tend to do it here, because, well, I tend to be doing much quicker speeds. Alrighty. But yeah, I think with that, guys, I am going to let this go for this episode. I really hope you did enjoy. If you did, I appreciate the support the channel's getting. Hitting the like button provides a whole bunch more. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Don't forget to share and favorite, and of course hit the little bell when you subscribe to be notified of other stuff as it appears. So, take care of each other, folks. This has been Species 7 for Farm Sim 17 on Watt's Farm. And it's early spring, day 2. Ciao for now.